to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We are learning the chapter Breathing and Exchange of Gases. Today we will learn mechanism of breathing. As we discussed in the previous video, breathing is only a pulmonary ventilation where we inhale or inspire the oxygen-rich air and exhale out the carbon dioxide-rich air from our body. So this physical process, it's only a physical process which is actually involving two steps, which are the inhalation and exhalation. When we talk about inhalation, it is an active process. What is meant by active process? We are spending energy for something, or ATP is utilized means it is active. Whereas if energy or ATP is not utilized, that is passive. So here active and passive processes are inspiration and exhalation. Inspiration is active, whereas exhalation is a passive. Inhalation otherwise called inspiration, exhalation otherwise called expiration. So here, why is it active? Because here involves contraction of certain muscles. Whereas in exhalation it is passive because it involves the relaxation of muscles. So which are the muscles undergoing contraction or relaxation? Basically the diaphragm, which is a dome-shaped part separating our thoracic and abdominal chamber, and intercostal muscles are there. Intercostal muscles means the muscles present in the intercostal space, that is, we have rib cage with the 12 pairs of ribs. Adjacent ribs are connected by certain muscles. Those are called intercostal muscles. They are of two types, external intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles. External means they are found outside, because suppose this is a sternum. Sternum means our chest bone and vertebral column. Connecting that, ribs are there. So if the muscles are on the outside externally, that is called external intercostal muscles, and the muscles which are present on the inner side, they are called the internal intercostal muscles. They are helping in respiration. Basically, when we do inhalation, that is normal inhalation, we are using external intercostal muscles, or these muscles contract along with the diaphragm. Whereas, when we are doing forceful exhalation only, we are making use of our internal intercostal muscles. How many times do we breathe in a minute? It varies at different ages. Here we are breathing almost, means adults breathe almost 12 to 16 times per minute. And also the different respiratory volumes, that how much air we are taking in or we are giving out, all these can be measured using an apparatus called a spirometer. When we talk about inhalation, always you have to remember movement of air or gases take place from one place where it is pressure is high to a place where the pressure is less. So here also the mechanism is based on that, the movement of air based on the pressure difference. So if I want the air to come inside my lungs, the pressure inside the lung should be less than the outside pressure or the atmospheric pressure. The same way, if I want to exhale out, my pressure or air pressure inside the lung should be more than the outside, only then it will move out. So how can we change the pressure? So you know that whenever there is less volume, pressure will naturally be high. The same way, when pressure is less, means the volume is or space is more. So by adjusting the space inside our lungs, we can bring about changes in the pressure. So if you are expanding the lungs, then naturally pressure will decrease. But how can we expand our lungs? Is it possible? No. We can expand our thoracic cavity as such, so that whenever thoracic cavity is moving up and down, along with that it will pull the lung also up and down, so that the lung volume can be increased. Okay, let's see how this is happening. So initially, suppose this is our body. We have the diaphragm separating the abdominal cavity. This is abdominal cavity and the thoracic cavity. So now the space available inside the thoracic cavity is only this much. But when we want to inhale, we are contracting the rib down. That means the rib is dome-shaped naturally. It contracts, or as a result it becomes flat. So now the position is here. So what happens? This volume is now till here, increases. Thoracic volume increases in the anterior-posterior direction. Last class we learned about what is anterior, what is posterior end. So in that axis, anterior-posterior end, the volume is increasing. Now next stage is the intercostal muscles. So we know that this is sternum here and backbone is behind. So connecting that ribs there. So external intercostal muscles will now contract. As a result, it will push the rib cage outward and upward. So it will come little outward and then upward. So as a result, this way in this axis also the space will increase. So here the space will increase. So this axis is called a dorsoventral axis. So diaphragm will contract. As a result, anterior posterior axis the volume will increase. The rib cage will come outward and upward. As a result, dorsoventral axis also the space will increase. As a result, the thoracic volume increases. But we learn whenever thoracic volume increases, along with that pulmonary volume also will increase. What is meant by pulmonary? Pulmonary means related to our lungs. So inside the lung, the volume is called a pulmonary volume. So when pulmonary volume increases, naturally intrapulmonary pressure decreases. Intra means within the pulmonary, within the lungs the pressure decreases. So since the pressure is less inside the air lungs now and outside pressure is high, so from high pressure the air will come inside. That process is called a inhalation. I repeat, when we are during inhalation or breathing in, what happens? The diaphragm contracts, increasing the anterior posterior axis volume high, and the rib cage will be coming forward and upward with the help of external intercostal muscles, which will increase the volume in the dorsoventral axis. And as a result, the thoracic volume increases, which in turn increases the pulmonary volume. As a result, intrapulmonary pressure decreases. Since pressure is more outside in the atmosphere, air will move from outside to inside. Now what is happening during exhalation or expiration? The diaphragm will return to its normal position. So the space decreases in the anterior posterior direction. The rib cage also will be coming downwards and backwards, because whichever muscles contracted, they are relaxing now. That is external intercostal muscles, they are relaxing. So it will come back downwards and backwards. So intrapulmonary volume decreases due to the decrease in thoracic volume, which as a result intrapulmonary pressure increases. Now more pressure is inside than outside. As a result, air will move from the lungs to outside. That is called a exhalation. We will now discuss the pulmonary volumes and capacities. Our lung is, or our alveoli, they are never empty, right? Always some amount of air will be there, and there will be some layer in the dead space also. Dead space we discussed last video, that is, it is a conducting part of the respiratory system. So this can be measured, how much air is coming in or going out. All these are represented by our pulmonary volume, that is volume or the amount of air at a different positions or different conditions. Then when we add these volumes of different volumes, how much air, then we will get our capacity also, how much we can accommodate. So volume means the amount of air, whereas capacity is how much we can accommodate or exhale or inhale, that is capacity. So if you want to get capacity, you should understand the volume. By adding volume, you get capacity. Now let's see what is first pulmonary volume. The first one we are talking about is tidal volume. It is nothing but the volume of air inhaled or exhaled during a normal inhalation or exhalation. Suppose I am normally breathing. Normal, passive, okay? Means I am not taking extra effort. It's naturally happening. So in that case, the amount of air I am inhaling or the amount of air I am exhaling, that is called a tidal volume. It is equal, it is 500 ml. 500 ml means what? Half liters. You know, the bottle, usually your water bottle may be 1 liter. The half liter or the small bottles we get. That much air we are inhaling or exhaling during a normal inhalation or a exhalation. Okay. So suppose if I mark that on a scale, suppose this is the normal one. This line represents the neutral value. So when I am inhaling, my level is going to 500 ml. So this is 500 ml. Okay, this is inhalation, I took it, and now I am exhaling 500. So this is one respiration. So this also 500 ml, I exhale. This is taking in, this is giving out. Okay, so that's the normal condition, the volume of air inhaled or exhaled during a normal respiration. But that is normal. I have an ability to exhale more air by a deep breathing. So here what am I doing? I am taking some extra air into my lungs more than the tidal volume. Before I was taking only 500 ml, but now I am increasing my capacity by inhaling forcefully. Taking a forceful inhalation. So here, this what happens, that is over. Now next I am inhaling very forcefully. So this was 500, but now it is going very high. Almost I can go up to 2500 to 3000 ml of air can be inhaled other than the tidal volume. So the additional volume of air, tidal volume is there, let it be there. Additionally what I can do, that is from this end to, that is this distance. Okay, that is marked here. That is, what is the value? 2500 to 3000 ml. That is 3 liters of air I can take excess than the normal one. So all these days I was simply taking half liter and I was happy. But the moment I start taking more, I will get more oxygen, will be supplied to my cells, and I will get more energy out of it. That is the benefit of doing the breathing exercises. Usually we say pranayama and all. So those who are practicing pranayama, they will have lot of energy. They are buzzing with energy. I can forcefully exhale also, right? But not from here. Normally if I forcefully exhale, what happens? The air going out will be more than this. That is almost 1000 to 1100 ml. That is 1 to 1.1 liters of air. So 500 I was giving out. Now I can give out excess almost 1 liter also, other than the normal one. So this value is 1000 to 1100 ml. So this, okay, this name I didn't sell. This is called this is tidal volume. Next is called IRV. IRV means inspiratory reserve volume. That is inhalation, how much reserve I can take or volume extra I can take, that is the inspiratory reserve volume. If that is the case, this is the expiratory reserve volume. Okay. So normally what I am taking is tidal volume, that is 500 ml. Forcefully I am taking additional amount of air, almost 2500 to 3000, that is my inspiratory reserve volume. Forceful exhalation I can give out more than 500, that's up to 1000 to 1100 ml, that is expiratory reserve volume. Okay. So imagine now I am exhaling forcefully. Is my lung empty? No. We might think our lung is empty, but still after this this forceful exhalation also, some amount of air will be remaining. So this is almost 1.12, that is 1100 to 1200 ml, or 1.1 to 1.2 liters of air is still remaining in our lungs. This is called the residual volume. About this you learned in class 10, right? Residual volume. After forceful exhalation, simply if I give a lot will be there, but forcefully I am exhaling, but still my lung is not empty. It has almost 1.1 to 1.2 liters of air inside that. That is called the residual volume. Okay, it gives more time for exchange of gases. So let us see what we are taking normally, inhaling or exhaling. Tidal volume 500 ml. In addition to that, forcefully exhaling, inspiratory reserve volume 2500 to 3000. Forcefully exhaling 1000 to 1100 ml extra additional to tidal volume. After that, what is remaining in my lungs? That is 1.1 to 1.2 liters, that is residual volume. So studying capacities along with this will be little confusing for you. So what you have to learn is, first you learn the volumes very well. Maybe you can learn, it's depending upon your learning ability. Some students quickly take it up. Some of you must have learned with me already. Okay, so that's very easy for you. And you can continue with the capacities. But if you are still struggling to understand this, make sure that you are studying only 1 or 2 per day. Today you study tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. Or otherwise today you will understand what is tidal volume. Tomorrow you can study inspiratory reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume. Third day you study residual volume. Okay, so once you are thorough with that, try to write the definition and see whether you are writing the correct amount, because these values are very important. You have to learn the values properly. Understood? Now once you are comfortable with this pulmonary volumes, now we will move on to pulmonary capacity, because the pulmonary capacity we get by adding these volumes. Now coming to first one, inspiratory capacity. What is the total volume of air I can inhale? That is, suppose a normal exhalation happen. After normal exhalation, what I can take first is this tidal volume. Okay, that I can take. But in addition, I am taking IRV by a forceful inhalation. So totally what I took totally this much, that is TV plus IRV. This will give me the value inspiratory capacity. Total amount of air I can inhale after a normal exhalation is in TV and IRV. So what will be its value? Almost 3000 to plus 500, 3500. So if it is 2.5 to 3000 means what? Here it will be adding 500 also. So it will be 3000 ml to 3500 ml. Here we are talking about one breathing, right? It's not that per minute. Suppose if you take tidal volume 500 ml every time means if you are taking 12 to 14 times means what? Almost it will become 6000 to 8000 ml, means 6 to 8 liters in 1 minute. Okay, that's different. Here we are talking about at a single attempt. So the total amount of air you can breathe in after a normal exhalation is called the inspiratory capacity, which includes tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume. Now next we are going to the same way expiratory capacity. After a normal inhalation 500 ml, what I am giving out? I can give out this tidal volume and this is tidal volume and ERV. So tidal volume plus ERV will give me the expiratory capacity. So what will be the value? The expiratory reserve volume was 1000 to 1100. So plus 500. So I can write 1500 to 1600 ml will be the value. Now, previously we saw if I forcefully exhale, what is remaining in my lungs? The residual volume of air. Why residual volume of air? Because when forceful exhalation is happening, I am giving out tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume. But imagine I am just breathing out. What is gone out? TV only gone out. But what is inside? My ERV is here and my residual volume is also there. So this is called a functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity is these two. That is ERV plus residual volume. Because I just exhaled out, not forcefully. Only tidal volume went out. So I have my expiratory reserve volume which I could forcefully give out, I didn't give out. That is remaining here, that is called a functional residual capacity. Imagine I am forcefully exhaling out. Okay. Now I am taking in deep breathing. So what am I taking in? Of course tidal volume is there. Apart from that, what could I take in? That inspiratory reserve volume, that is the additional volume of air I can breathe in by a forceful inhalation. And I had given out forcefully this expiratory reserve volume, that also will be coming back, right? So when I am forcefully exhaling out, that means now I have only this residual volume in my lungs. Now I am forcefully inhaling back means I am taking back this ERV, I am taking back my tidal volume, I am taking back the IRV. So together this is known as the vital capacity. So vital capacity is a sum of TV plus IRV plus ERV. So that will come around 500 plus almost 3500 plus 1600. Okay, so this is how we calculate the capacity. So this is called a vital capacity. So how much I can inhale in, that actually determines my stamina. I told those who are practicing this breathing exercises regularly, they will have a very high vital capacity. You won't feel them lethargic or fatigue or always tired and drowsy. No, they remain active throughout their day. Why? Because they are taking in more air. As I told, it will be supplied to the cells. Cells will get more oxygen to break down the glucose, to release the energy. So they are very energetic. The same way, the vital capacity of people who are in athletics or sports persons, it will be naturally high, because they also train themselves under strenuous conditions, or most of the athletic camps before all the international events will be in the high altitude place. They're under oxygen tension they practice. As a result, when they come to planes, they will have a very easy walkthrough, that is their vital capacity is increasing. The same way mountaineers, they also go up to the high altitude where oxygen amount is less, so their vital capacity also increases. So these are the ways in which we can increase our vital capacity, and naturally men will have more vital capacity than women. Okay, so vital capacity is good so that we can increase our stamina or energy level. So what I am taking forcefully inside after a forceful exhalation together is called my vital capacity. That includes TV, IRV and ERV. But once I take this vital capacity inside, what is there now? IRV is there, TV is there, ERV is there, but in my lungs already there was residual volume. So everything together is called the total lung capacity. So total lung capacity means all these three together called the vital capacity plus my residual volume. So total amount of air will be there in my lungs after a forceful inhalation followed by forceful exhalation, or the total air my lung can accommodate. That is my total lung capacity, which is vital capacity plus the residual volume. Please learn all these capacities and volumes very clearly without any confusion or without any problem. You should remember it very quickly with the volumes that are associated with it. So please learn NCERT thoroughly. Whenever you are learning, go for an in-depth learning. It's not that simply you are just going through the lines and closing the book and going away. No, every time you read it thoroughly, try to recollect what you learned. Until and unless you are not able to tell that, don't be convinced or happy. Okay, then study again till you are comfortable with that content. That is a way to master biology. Hope you understood these topics very well. We will continue with the rest of the topic in the next video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel Biology My Passion. Thank you for watching.